We're going to throw open some questions into the crowd now to speak directly to the band. I'm looking for Brian. Oh, Brian. Brian is our competition winner. He's been following Metallica around everywhere. A little bit obsessive, perhaps.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Have you got a question for Metallica?
Yeah, I was just wondering, you haven't played Unforgiven 2 yet on the tour. I was just wondering why you haven't, seeing especially when it's the current, well, it was the first single released over here. And when should we be expecting to hear it?
Yeah, Lars, how come we're not playing that?
Haven't
figured out how to sing it yet.
We haven't really
live.
figured it out yet, to be honest. One of the only songs we've ever tackled live was on the Black Album tour that we weren't that comfortable playing, was the first Unforgiven, and it never really settled in properly. We tried playing Unforgiven 2 at a TV show in Las Vegas in December, and that wasn't our strongest moment. And
good way to put it.
So we might bring it out for the summer in America. At the same time, as you know, since you've seen us a bunch, is that we don't like to go out. Now we're touring Reload. We don't go out and play, 90% of Reload. I really like to balance it with all the albums. So we're playing 3 or 4 songs from the new album, and maybe we'll play Unforgiven 2 next time we come down.
Thank you.
Go, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
All right.
Questions? This is Bianca. Bianca has some more questions for you, brethren.
Yeah. How many more years can we expect Metallica to rock on?
Forever and ever.
You can pursue that if you
No, I'd like to think that there would never have to be like a headline saying that Metallica split up or Metallica broke up or anything. You should never have to read that. I would like it to be that Metallica can just be. If we don't maybe record for some years or we don't play live for, it still can just be Metallica. It'll always live in that way, but we don't ever have to really split.
Robert M. Burry. It's working. They must have placed you or something. That's great. Robert, questions for Metallica?
Okay, I was just wanting to know who designed the Metallica symbol, that one in the middle, and how did it come about?
This one?
Yeah.
James drew it on a notebook, I think his lyric notebook, when we were putting together all those songs for Load, right? It was kind of like scribbled on a notebook. Like a lot of the stuff, like the Scary Guy and the first logo and probably everything, he just always comes up with that stuff.
Yep. And
it's supposed to represent the 4 of us.
4 M's, 4 dudes, Metallica forever. Get it?
Yep.
Cool.
And where do you see the future of the metal heavy rock genre at the moment?
Jason's going to answer that. That's not my field.
I think that there's a lot of, with electronic music coming on and a lot of the fast beats and that, a lot of people have been drawn to that because of its energy and aggression and that kind of thing. But nothing will ever replace the 4 or 5 guys playing guitars really loud and that kind of stuff. So it's always going to be, no matter how far it goes underground before it rears its head again. Whatever, it's always going to be there underlying. Like, look at all these people here that are still way into that kind of music. It may not be the popular music that's being played on the radio or on the video or whatever, but it still lives, in us and a lot of people, so it's always there.
Will you be really old guys rocking one day?
We already are old guys.
Speak for yourself.
Hey, I'm young.
I've got to get another question here. I've got a quick one.
I'm old.
Has metal affected your hearing?
I'm older. What are we doing?
Has metal affected your hearing?
What?
Stephen Norris.
Yes.
Ha! The Vic Comp runner-up. This is Stephen Norris. Well done, Stephen. Have you got a question?
Yes, I was just wondering, what is your favourite riff?
Of Metallica or otherwise?
Yes, Metallica or whatever.
Metallica or whatever. Which one?
Metallica.
Yeah.
You first.
Riff?
Riff, man. One riff, that just riff. That just each time you just go, just want to blow up. There's so many.
Probably the first one in No Remorse. Go and sing it.
That's a good.
That one, yeah.
That one's cool. That one rocks. I like. I think the middle of Master of Puppets when it goes dun 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 dun.
The face! Doing the face!
Yeah, Nicholas.
I like the face.
Catch.
We're looking for Jason Allen here.
Pretty good, man.
Hi, Jason Allen. What's your question for Metallica?
I've heard it's your last tour. Is this true?
Where do you hear? Where does this stuff come from? No. Huh?
The answer is no.
No.
No. Beautiful.
Oh, phew. Lucky we cleared that
Well,
up.
that kind of attitude, we might not come back.
Yeah,
but
man.
apart from that,
He's not with us.
So-
He's not with us. We
he's
don't even
the
know
guy. He's the guy to beat up. Yeah.
him. David Hall. Thanks, mate. Great. David Hall.
After Justice for All, you seem to take a new direction in your style of music, slightly more rock orientated. How did this come about, and do you think your status as Metallica would be different now if you did change?
Well, obviously working with a producer named Bob Rock. His name wasn't Bob Heavy Metal, so that's obviously what had to happen. I mean, there's definitely a, when we started working with Bob, he opened up our eyes and ears to a lot of different things. I think the biggest misconception from most of the people that don't quite either agree with it or understand what happened is that it was not something we were forced into. And, Bob saw some things in us that were brewing that he sort of helped us realize, and in terms of just being more emotional and trying to get more things from within out in our music and in James's singing and so on, and trying to make records that were more human and just had more elements of emotions and stuff in them, and that's something that I'm really proud of that happened. And but clearly, obviously, there is some kind of division there, and I just feel that looking back on it, we had probably taken that side of us as far as we could, and felt that if we were going to continue in that direction, it would get really stale and get really,
perhaps.
and just get really, we would just get stuck in a kind of a thing that I think a lot of the other metal bands end up in, where they just get stuck on one track and then just keep doing that, and we just wanted to keep going on.
That's true. Think about, look around the bands that were big or whatever at the time. They all kind of backed themselves into a corner by playing the same music or the same album with a different album cover type of thing. And that's, where are they now? And Metallica has continued to do what we want to do, kind of according to what's coming out then. Like like he was talking about Fight Fire and the things, the really blasting songs. That was, for that time, was great, and that's what we were approaching. And now that's what's coming out of us, so that's what's on tape. It doesn't mean that there can't be more Fight Fires in the future. Doesn't mean there's going to be less Nothing Else Matters in the future. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes out of us, that's what we'll put on the tape. It's not like we're out to try to just get these people that like the heavy music from Metallica, or these people that just like the light music from Metallica. We want to play our music to share with as many people as we possibly can that will listen to it, however they can on the radio or whatever through their own means.
And do you think everything's been done to date? Like maybe in your earlier days, there was a lot more styles undiscovered, but now going into the new millennium, they've sort of been done,
There's so many things that mix and match now, and crossbreeds and hybrids of all different kinds of electronic with turntable guys and metal guys and whatever. Yeah, that's very true. So it's hard to be, it's better to kind of stand your ground and do what you do best rather than trying to, mix it all up and try to get with the times or whatever happens to be popular then, more just stick to our guns and do what we do, and usually people like it.
So you just be yourselves.
That's right. It's the best thing to do for anybody, man, no matter what gig you got.
Fine advice. Thanks, bro. Yeah. I think we've got time for maybe one more, maybe. Mark and Cheryl Gale. Over here. Be enthusiastic now.
Do you still hang out and party together?
Lars, do we?
Which, hang out and party or hang out?
Both.
Well, yeah, you know, there's one or two people in the band that don't drink anymore, but we still socialize as much as we can. I mean, at home in San Francisco, everybody's kind of got their own little world, and I think that it's really healthy because when you are 22 years old and everything is sort of gang-oriented, things have a tendency to be a bit one-track minded. So when everybody's kind of off doing their own things, when they come back to the party, they all bring something different, which is really cool. But when we travel, we still enjoy each other's company. And we don't quite party like we used to, but we give it our best shot for being in our mid-30s, believe me. I saw the sunrise the other day, so I was proud of that.
The coolest thing is that, like Lars is talking about, as we get older, we find more diverse things for ourselves. We all become more individuals, you know, each guy, and then when it comes back in to be the team again, because of our strengths outside of the band, we're stronger as a band because everybody's able to understand each other, give each other a little more space, a little more time, a little more consideration, that kind of thing. This time on tour right now, I mean, we're getting along better than I can remember us getting along ever. Like everybody just being cool to each other and that kind of thing. So when we do hang out, it's working still.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks. I think that's all about all we can come.
We must say a very big thank you to the boys of Metallica for coming in today, and to Costa Zulia. Let's make a lot of noise right now. You have been watching Metallica. More noise! Thank you very much, Lars.
Into the ropes. Ooh, she almost sliced her in half with that clothesline.